Welcome to the Passion Over Profits podcast with Top Son Goku, bringing you your weekly dose of Dragon Ball Super collectors content. Stay tuned for exclusive interviews with some of the most knowledgeable DBS collectors in the community.
What's up, guys? My name is Top Son Goku, and welcome to another episode of the Passion Over Profits podcast. Today, I have PokeDebt on the show. He's been a friend of mine for over a year now. He's basically a collector of all TCGs. He has his hands in every TCG. It's incredible. He has a very unique way of going about engaging with the hobby, engaging with the community, and that's something that we talk about in this podcast. It's a 2-hour conversation, so I will definitely have to edit it down a little bit, but make sure to stay tuned and listen all the way till the end, because there's a ton of golden advice in there, advice that I will have to follow myself, because I've been focused on making my hobby something of a more sustainable and something that I can do more long term. And in this conversation, we talked a lot about being able to let go of cards and sell your cards that you're not that in love with, and you're able to fund more purchases. Alex talks a lot about making his hobby fund itself, right? He's selling cards in order to buy more, and meanwhile during the entire process he's having very high-end cards in his hands, and he's able to enjoy them along the way. So I think that's a very cool way of going about the hobby, and so that's what we're talking about. I'm just gonna cut it right here. I hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as I did, and I'll definitely make sure to having on the show more often, because I definitely had a blast. So I'm gonna cut it right here. Talk to you soon, guys. I'm so hyped that you're on the show. It's gonna be amazing. I'm really looking forward to our conversation. It's been a while that we have spoken actually on phone.
It really has been.
We used to talk a little bit
we
last year, but then suddenly it's just, life happens, right?
Well, the good news is we have so much to talk about. So
yeah, that's true. We have to catch up, man.
Yeah.
So what's very intriguing to me is the way that you go about engaging with the hobby. I think I think we have a tendency to always label what is good and what is wrong, like what is the right way to collect and what's the wrong way to collect or whatever. But to me, I've just been watching your journey, and I'm just very intrigued at the way that you're going about this. So I see you handling very high-end cards and then letting them go a few months later because the love kind of fades a little bit, and then you let go of the cards. And I think that's just amazing, because in the end, you're holding like one gem after another, and you probably wouldn't have been able to do that if you didn't let go of some cards at some point. So I just think you do this differently compared to others.
Well, so let's start with the me holding a grail and then letting it go after a few months, because the love thing. So my number one rule when I started doing this, and this was kind of it always starts out as fun. It's always something that is, number one, it's a different form of engagement. Mm-hmm. Number two, it's extraordinarily relative. I think that a lot of people hold, and I'm gonna start with Pokemon, because if I'm not mistaken, you were a big Pokemon collector when you first started, right?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So I found my binder in my closet, and I was like, no way! I had Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes, Team Rocket, and I'm looking through it, and I'm like, this is sick. Like, I need to get somebody to look at this stuff. Like, I think it was like 18 years they had been in my closet. Fast forward 3 days, I got a buddy named PokeBrews that basically teaches me, hey, there's a community, and I'm like, what do you mean by that? So yada yada yada. Fast forward 3 days. I'm a member. I'm just gonna say a member of the community.
Yeah.
I've got 10 followers. I think I waited like 3 days to come up with an Instagram, because I was so torn on the name. I'm like, it's got to be relevant. It's got to be something that means something. I don't want to put Pokemon extravaganza area code that I live in. So that's where we came up with PokeDebt. I was like, well, if this is something that I came in with the mentality of making it a sales page. You know, we wanted to make some extra money. I was 21 and I was I was 23 and I was just kind of just trying to figure out my path as an adult. Fast forward, I have my first claim sale after a week and I'm like, holy crap, like this is really, really, really exciting. And this is where I curved myself from every, I guess you would say, what's the term? Flipper?
Yeah.
Now, I don't really believe in the word because life happens. People are going to sell things. That's what we do. We buy, sell, trade, right?
For sure. Yeah.
And
That's a hobby.
There's no in between. It's the hobby. The hobby isn't collecting the cards. The hobby is the buy, sell, trade. It's the hunt. Yeah. It's the never ending hunt.
It's a trading card. I mean,
it's in the name, like TCG, right?
Yeah.
So, I had my first claim sale, man. 25 cents a card, and I think I made $150 out of my own personal binder. And then that's where it began. I started buying cards, and I think I was 2 weeks in, and I had this goal. Hey, I want to complete every single card of every iconic Pokemon, 1 to 151, and then frame it and put it in my house at the time, my apartment.
Man, that's funny. I think so many of us start with Pokemon and have the same goal.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there. And
you know what's funny? Yeah.
It's an extraordinarily easy goal. Well, it was then at the time.
Yeah. It's, man.
Dude, I think I completed that goal in like a month.
Man, I had, so when I started, this was also like, I mean, of course, Pokemon Go, we all played it, 2016. Oh, yeah. Was amazing, and then it's the first life. Yeah, man.
The whole world was outside.
Man, that was so nostalgic, man. I brought my brother. We like ran around the neighborhood and caught some Pokemon, and
yeah,
man, that was amazing. And then, I mean, of course, then with the exposure comes your YouTube content start changing or whatever, and then of course, poof, the first Pokemon pack opening on my YouTube page. I'm like, oh man, why do I crave this so much?
Yeah.
Why do I crave this so much? This looks so much fun. And down the road, I was like, man, I need the starters, right? So I bought Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur, framed it in my living room, and that was my first step. And then immediately after having the trio, I was like, man, I need that base set, man. I need a complete base set. And so the same day that my starters came in, I bought the base set in plate condition for like $150, something like that.
Yeah,
it was amazing. And it's just so nostalgic, right? You hold these cards and you just feel like a kid again. It's unbelievable.
And it's so relative. And you know, like you saying that right off rip, you're like, hey, like, I had a goal and I worked towards it and I accomplished it. And it's like, that is the fire for me. I love completing goals. I think that having a goal it's not absolutely necessary to be a collector, but I think it's a healthy practice. You know, we look at video games, we look at just any generalized hobby for that anyone may have. And it's like, if you have a goal, you're working your mind. You're trying to figure out how you can achieve that goal. It's chess, not checkers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's, you fast forward a few years and here I am engaging with you guys and Dragon Ball Super drops. Now, I was actually very fortunate enough to be a part of Dragon Ball Super throughout the beginning, but I was so hooked in Pokemon. I was so taken by Pokemon that I would get into Super, I pulled 3 Awakened Power Gokus. I pulled like 4 hits. Like, I went all in on Tournament of Power, and it was so funny because if you remember when that article came out, I know that everybody's against it now, but dude, right when that article dropped, I got in so many, not confrontations, but more of debacles with so many Dragon Ball Super collectors that Awakened was not the Grail. I'm like, I understand that it's really good in play. I understand that the print was not the best, but it's guaranteed per case. Like, I lived it. I've pulled so many.
Yeah.
I may be jumping a little too far ahead, but going back to getting into Dragon Ball Super, we look at it as something that kind of touches that relativity, right? Like you look at Pikachu and Goku, and their popularity is probably fairly considerable with each other.
Yeah, I compare Goku to Pikachu all day, every day.
Hands down.
Absolutely. And I compare Vegeta to Charizard.
There you go. It works. I agree. Vegeta is so dope.
Yeah, I mean, even if I show Goku to my parents, they will say, "Ah, yeah, it's Goku." Or if I show Pikachu to my parents, they will say, "Yeah, it's Pikachu." Even if I show it to my grandma, she will know. So
yeah, they're so big. They're so iconic. Going back to what you were kind of asking initially with the question. So yeah, I mean, I solely believe that, this hobby should pay for itself. And I do everything I possibly can to, number one, get the hobby to pay for itself. And then number two, I really like hooking people up. I see all these card sales go in, and you look on eBay and everybody wants top dollar and everybody needs that, that number that's going on eBay. And I'm like, you know what? Like, if I can save someone $50, $100, $200, like half the time I don't even do the research. If I make a profit on my end, if I invest $20 and I sell a card for $100, how can I be mad? Like, I can't. Like, you can't be mad at that, right? So that's where my love kind of goes. There's a lot of cards coming and going, and just because I don't love something, it doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't love it, whether it's Vivian or you or I can't see how many times you've been looking for a card and I've reached out and I'm like, hey, dude, I can see if I have that card and I will totally give it to you.
Yeah. And man, and like you said, like, I mean, that's very, very appreciated in the hobby. Sometimes some people don't understand that if there are not enough people like you in the hobby, then these people will never acquire their grail or whatever. So many people reach out to me, hey man, I'm looking for this card, can you hook me up? And I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, especially a year ago, nobody was selling DBS, everybody was holding DBS. I'm like, man, sorry, but you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to hunt and hunt and hunt. There's no secret. And people almost get frustrated and give up very quickly. But if there's someone like you in the hobby, like, hey bro, I've got this grail. It's in BGS 10.
That's it. I'm not gonna ask you for the $1,000 it's going for, but best believe I still would like that $850.
Yeah, and I think
cheapest in the world.
Meanwhile, you've been able to hold this amazing card and help friends out in the community. It's amazing.
Well, what a lot of people don't think about is the holding aspect, right? So it's like, yeah, we may not have a ton of money in something, but do you know how hard and how frustrating and how difficult it is to hold something of a certain caliber for so long? I mean, the temptation is constant. In a sense, it is work. I mean, look at you. Don't you have two awakened Gokus and PSA 10?
Yeah.
How many times a year are you tempted to sell one?
Well, especially when the prices go up by the day.
It's tempting.
Then you're like, oh man, do I really need 3 of them?
Yeah.
Is that really needed? I know it looks cool on Instagram, but do I really need 3 of them? And then that's when it hits me at one point. I'm like, bro, I've been going about this the wrong way. I've been buying and holding constantly. The first time ever that I sold a DBS card was in February 2021, and I sold one Awakened Power PSA 10 because I was like, man, it's not. I mean, it's not sustainable, right? I keep on buying and I hold everything, but here I am draining my savings, and I mean, just not sustainable. So that's why I'm so intrigued about your way about going about the hobby, because you get to hold these cards, you get to look at them and engage with the hobby and still not only getting your hobby paid for, but also probably making a profit.
My number one thought process is how do I let the hobby pay for itself? That's the question. The answer is very simple. you just have to take it day by day. You have to know your limits. I mean, I think I've actually heard you mention something in the past, either on I think it was on episode 1. You said, hey, you have to know your limit. Mm-hmm. And if you, as a collector, expect to accomplish everything overnight, I spend 90% of my time not buying, but researching. It's like, hey, like, this new Flesh and Blood game that's going up, or this new MetaZoo game, or this new Final Redemption. I remember Null Collector had a hand in that, and I just backed those guys as well. Like, there are so many things going on. It's like, if you want that BGS 10 or PSA 10 Son Goku Awakened Power, you're gonna have to broaden your horizons. You're gonna have to expand your knowledge and figure out, hey, where are those breaks at? Where are those $100 investments that turn into $3,000 profits in 6 months? And it doesn't make me a flipper or a manipulator or anything like that. It's all just a guessing game. I mean, like you said best in your previous episode, know your limits. Take it day by day, and hopefully after a 6-month sit, you can cash out and take care of yourself like you take care of your cards.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, there you are.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm not sure when we got cut off, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can edit them, and
yeah, it's gonna be tricky, but I'll find a way to edit it properly.
Take out all the terrible things that I say and put good things.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, don't worry. If you want, I can let you listen to it before I post it and whatever. But
oh man, I've got full faith in you. No. This is all you, and I appreciate the gesture. I'm just I'm so stoked to just be on, man. This is awesome.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just think that the way I went about the hobby the last 3 years is kind of, I mean, my perspective has changed like drastically, and I think it's just a learning curve, right? Because if you look at the huge collectors, they always buy and sell constantly. They sell in order to buy more, and they buy to in order to sell, and that's just the hobby. Like we said, it's a trading card game. And I mean, I look at people like Gem in Pokemon and TCA Gaming. They have, and even SM Pratt, they always have hundreds of listings on their eBay page. That's just how it is. I think that's the way to go, man. I think it's a trading card game. We have to buy and sell to keep on collecting. That's just how it is. And you mentioned how you are able to, fund your hobby. I mean, that's definitely not what I've been doing. I've been draining my savings in order to continue collecting, and that's just dumb. That's just dumb.
Well, yes and no. You've been using extra money to fuel your bank account with your hobby. So, I mean, if you can afford it, it's never a bad idea. Every now and again, I'll find myself going against my own word and throwing, $100, $200 in just to kind of, the term is called owner's investment. It's just a personal investment. Like it's the exact same as if you were to go and buy something for your office. It's an investment, right? To make life easier. As a collector, especially now, again, I can't fully compare myself to those guys because they've just had such a head start and they've been in it for such a long time and they've went through all the growing pains. Like they are top tier. Like they are absolutely crushing the game. And the number one reason why is their commitment to the hobby. They educate, they invest, they help people. I talk to Gem Mint Pokemon twice a week, and it's always just good energy with him. Another person I'm a huge fan of that is doing the exact same thing that they're doing and kind of going in a different direction is Charlie. Charlie collects with CGC. I mean, I am a big fan of Charlie because he wants what's best for the hobby, just like TCA, just like SM Prate, just like Gem Mint Pokemon. Like these guys are just next level, right? Even look at Pokemon Revolution. Like that guy, that guy is absolutely killing it. And they have different ways of going about it, whether it's YouTube or whether it's Instagram or a website or eBay. But the structure is quite literally in its own the exact same thing. We send cards out to get graded. We get the cards back. We make a bunch of money. That's it.
That is basically it. Yeah.
It's not about how much you make. And I think this is where a lot of people lose themselves. It's not about how much money you make.
Yeah.
It's about what you do with the money that you make. I've seen so many guys come into this hobby, make an absolute fortune, or it's the opposite. They come into the hobby and they grow this amazing collection. And then when they cash out, they're done. And at that moment, it's like, why did you leave? Did you leave because of some drama?
Yeah,
a block button fixes that, right? Did you leave because, oh man, I'll tell you, I have the most peaceful Instagram now because of a block button, but I digress. It's about what you do with the money that you make. And for those, I'm going to use this term. I don't ever use this term, but I will use this term. For a true collector, for someone that is authentic and genuine and someone that is in this for passion and not for profit. Wait, hold on. Isn't that the name of this channel?
Yeah, passion over profits.
Passion over profits. We get it. We understand it. If you want to be on the passion side of things, take that money. Number one, pay yourself. You have to pay yourself because it makes you feel good. It makes you want to go. You don't have to give yourself profit, but pay yourself. If I make $1,000, take $250 and give it to yourself and go and take your fiance out to dinner, right?
Hell yeah, man.
Go and take your husband out to dinner. Go and take your kids to the park. That is paying yourself, right?
Yeah.
With the rest of the money, invest. Buy those cards that you want. Grow that collection. Help your friend get that card that they want, right?
Man, I think what you just said, there's something that clicked in my mind right now. Like, pay yourself first. I totally get that. It's like kind of the saying, whatever gets rewarded gets repeated, right?
That's
like
it.
If you reinforce only positive vibes with, you associate those positive things to the hobby, and that just reinforces that passion, I think. Because right now I think, oh man, the hype in DBS has just been very draining for me because I have these goals that almost kind of scare me, right? I'm like, here's the list of my PSA 10 collection that I won by the end of the year. I mean, I'm a little bit extreme in terms of setting goals for myself. I need to back down a little bit. I'm conscious of that. But these goals kind of scare me, and I see these prices just soar like crazy, and people ask, $350 to $500 now for a PSA 10 SPR, and I'm like, man, what the hell? This is not affordable anymore. And so I think, and at some point, right, you kind of associate stress with the hobby, and that's just not healthy. And that's where I was at a month ago or something, where the hobby just kind of got a little bit stressful because I'm unable to achieve the goals that I set for myself, and they're just disappointing. But when you take an approach where, look, you take it day by day, and it's okay to sell the things that you're less passionate about. It's okay if you lost the love for a few cards and you let them go, and you pay yourself first to reward yourself and to make this hobby a lifelong thing instead of a quick thing. Because if you hoard and you hoard and you hoard, and then you kind of become bitter about the hobby because you only see the negative side.
Yes.
Then I totally understand, man. People that just cash out, sell the entire thing, and then they stop for a few years. They don't have a system in place to make them feel good about a hobby.
Structure is everything. I mean, you just said it best yourself. You're like, I got so fixated on the negative, and it's like, you got to start thinking about what you got. I mean, how many cards did you get for a price you would probably not like to mention? In a good way, right? Like, how many cards did you get for a steal before the hype? It's probably a lot more than you think.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I like to say that I have like at least 90% of my collection is at a price I'm very, very, very happy with.
You got them at wholesale. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
And the game's going to continue to grow, and you're going to find new trading card games that can give you the same result. And dude, people look at me all the time and they're like, how many trading card games do you collect?
Oh,
dude, I honestly, like, it's not even about one thing. It's about, man, I collect Final Fantasy, Dragon Ball Super, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, Digimon, old school Digimon. Like, oh man, I've gotten into Shikishi recently. I've got some, dude, I could go on and on. Like, I have so many trading cards trading card games that I just love. And I always think about what I have and not about what I don't have.
Yeah. That's a big thing.
It's a good thought process.
Man. Actually, yeah, man. Mindset is so important in our hobby. It's unbelievable. It's so easy to get lost and consumed by your goals or what you don't have and what you're chasing. Because if you're chasing 24/7, you're not appreciating what you already have.
That loosely translates like what you just said, like always wanting to get more and this and that. I mean, it goes back to greed.
Yeah.
If you are greedy, you're gonna fumble. You're gonna fail. You're gonna miss out on deals. You're not gonna network. I mean, this is all just one big marketing thing. It's all about how we can reach further into the community. How can we just give that little bit further and relate with those people that haven't seen you yet? I can't wait. I count the day down until I have 10,000 followers, so I can go, I have 10,000 friends that are into the exact same thing that I'm into, and they're supporting me, and I'm doing everything I can to support them. It's so fun, like being able to talk to people every single day that not only are interested in the same things that we go through, but they're also struggling with the same things that we go through. I mean, everything that you're saying, I feel too.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's amazing. It's our hobby is just, it's just so vast. There's so many dimensions to it. I mean, you and I, we would never have gotten to be friends in the first place if we didn't have, Pokemon or TBS.
Yeah, it's extremely relative. And you and I aren't so different, We're hardworking.
I mean, we're the same age. We have the same hobby. I mean, that's already enough to relate with someone.
I'll buy you a beer anytime.
Deal.
I'm going to send you a couple bucks after this and buy you a beer after this podcast. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Actually, you mentioned, I mean, I'm not sure because it's the second or third recording right now, but you mentioned Vivian a few times now.
Yeah.
Do you guys have the same collection, or do you have different collections? How does it work to be both collectors?
That's a really good question. So Vivian is super weird. Now, don't get me wrong. She, it's just that kind of like stereotypical cute things, this and that. But she is absolutely bonkers over the weirdest Pokemon. Like, in my opinion, like she will buy the funniest things, like Star. How do I say this? She's really into the Starlight Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'm so scared with those cards because they're so rare. She's so determined to go after and pull them, and I'm like, honey, like that is a bad move.
Yeah, that man.
Just buy the card.
To pull them yourself. Oof.
But it's amazing because she has this ability to hold things and never let them go. And I look at her and I go, you know what? 5 years down the road, because she's very early in her collecting stages. I mean, she has had so many challenges personally where she could use an extra $100 or $500, but dude, she does not sell her cards. She doesn't. She is the most steel-minded, hardworking collector I've ever seen. She gets everything that she wants. She holds on to everything. She's completed binders. She has an amazing Glaceon set. She's got this auto Bulbasaur that...
Yeah, beautiful.
It's one of one. It's sketch auto. It's it graded a 9, auto 10. Like she could make a lot of life decisions by selling this card. But she's not going to, because she holds it so close to her heart as a memory and less of a material. It's just amazing. Like she's a very interesting individual, and I'm so excited to see what she can bring to the table, because since we turned PokeDebt into a business, she's brought so many new things to the table that I couldn't have fathomed, and it's really helping the page grow. And again, I don't want to digress too far. She likes really, really cute things. She likes really weird rarities. Like she has so many. She found this rarity of Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's weird. They all have like this glossy look to them, and I think they're Korean. And she absolutely loves them. Like she has so many Blue Eyes White Dragons, and I'm like, do you like Blue Eyes? She's like, no, I just love the glossy look. And I'm like, that's amazing. Own it, influence it, share it. Like, let people know that these cards exist. Like, that's awesome. And I just think that she's just so fun. If I could put it in one word, she's so fun.
That's amazing, man.
I got a good one.
That's amazing.
Man. I really did. I got a good one. I don't think there are a lot of people right now doing what we're doing, and we're trying to be that fun collector couple, and it's so fun because we don't have to pretend. Like, this is just us. We're the nerdy couple, and all of our friends locally like pick on us, but we're having so much fun, and we're hitting all of our goals, and we're accomplishing things so much faster than we could have ever fathomed. And oh man, I got so lucky. She's so supportive, and she's so good, and I love her so much. So yeah, follow Vivian, guys. She is absolutely awesome.
Definitely. And yeah, I found it very cool that you're, first of all, that you're both collectors. But I knew that already. But that you started the PokeDebt.com together. I think that's really cool. You both. What do you say?
It was her idea.
Her idea, nice.
She had the idea, and I was like, no, eBay. And she was like, no, man, like, let's do this ourselves. Like, we could do it. And she proved me wrong. We are doing it. The website is doing so well.
Really? Yeah.
It is doing so well. I was absolutely blown away.
That's good to hear, man.
Thank you.
That's good to hear, because when you launched the website when, Pokemon crashed, DBS crashed.
Yep.
It just feels like the market is just so slow right now.
Yep.
People try to sell left and right, and nobody buys. So hearing that the website is doing well,
yep,
I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah, we didn't do it. We didn't really do it for the money. It was one of those things to where, we just want to do this right. And what I mean by that is, so I almost got audited last year. And I think what a lot of people don't think about is that the government is very real.
Of course.
A lot, especially now with the hobby going up, and yeah, it's dead right now, but what goes down is going to go back up again. We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Taxes are scary. Taxes are never ending. Taxes will always come back. And that is why we kind of did the website and went legal and kind of started looking on a business aspect, because yeah, we are collectors, but we revolve a lot of cardboard and a lot of money annually. And if you don't pay your taxes, you will get in a lot of trouble. So I definitely encourage anybody and everybody to go legal if you feel you need to. If you're making more than $20,000, $30,000 a year, you absolutely need to, or pounds, or yen. I could go on and on and on.
Man, that's a topic I didn't plan on talking about, but that's definitely something that I'm looking into as well, because I sold a PSA 10 Awakened Power in February.
Yeah.
For $10K.
Oh wow! Congrats.
And I just sold it because I needed the money. Like I said, I drained my savings. But at some point I was like, shit, did I just have an extra $10K of earnings
in 5 minutes?
Is that will I get taxed on that? Because if I'm using the money now, then I have to pay taxes later. That's gonna hurt twice.
Exactly.
So I'm looking into it right now to start to make it legally as well. And I would do it with a couple of friends. That would be amazing.
Super easy.
Again, just like to get the ball rolling and to be able to, engage in this hobby long term, make it sustainable.
Yeah, and the good news is you probably won't have to pay a ton in taxes, if any at all. The reason why we started doing it is just so that we can keep track. It's always good to keep track.
Yeah.
It's a budget. Any business, any collection that is big enough to operate as a business, you want to keep track of it, how much you're spending, how much you're buying. Like it's just good practice. And that's what's so fun about this hobby is you want to work that brain. You want to achieve those goals, and it goes back down to structure. How are you managing your costs? How are you managing your spending? How are you managing your buying?
Do you have a financial background? A business background?
So I do. I actually, my real job, I'm a branch manager of a company called Zoomies. Over in Europe, we have a company called Blue Tomato.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, like anybody that works in accounting or anybody that's a store manager or anybody, it's just furthering your practice. I mean, you don't have to be at work to learn business.
Yeah.
Look at the internet. I mean, the internet probably became more relative to everyone than anything over COVID-19. And one thing I learned from it is that I have all these tools within my reach. Why not use them?
Definitely.
So sorry,
man,
I'm
so happy for you guys that the website is doing well. I'm sure. I mean, I can't wait to see what else you have in store for us with the YouTube page.
And right back at you. Look at what you're doing. You've got a podcast going. Your Instagram page is so credible. I mean, your Instagram aesthetic is so admirable. I mean, your consistency, your drive, I write you, and I don't think I've ever written you, and it's taken you longer than 5 hours to write back. Like, you're so connected. You're so involved. I can see where it would be exhausting for you, but your practice is so good, and your drive and your determination. And Tom, I've got to tell you, I mean, this is real, recognized real, dude. I mean, you're killing it. I'm happy to be doing this with you because I always try to surround myself with people that I want to be like, and give yourself a little bit more credit.
Thanks, bro.
I'm blown away by your work ethic.
Thanks.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, at some point you got to ask yourself, like, what do you want to contribute to the community, if at all? And for me, I mean, I was like, yeah, I mean, I want to share the passion, right? I want to share what I'm doing. If I'm opening, products every single day for a month, like, why not record it?
Dude, you're growing the game. Like
why not record it? So yeah, and if I'm having conversations, because I'm calling with, some Dragon Ball friends, I would say at least on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
I'm calling with some people, and I'm like, why not record it and make it into a podcast? That would.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear. And I don't know if this is something you have planned out, but I mean, you've got all the. I mean, in my opinion, the big DBS guys. I mean, there's you, Note Collector, Infinite Zamazu. There's Ian.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna record podcasts with all of them.
I'm so excited. I just have to make this a pointed note that Gogeta is definitely better than Vegito, in my opinion.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Infinite Zamazu on that one.
Oh yeah. It's funny because I think it's probably about 50-50. People that love Gogeta versus Vegito, but somehow the high-end DBS collectors are all Vegito.
Oh man, I disagree.
So I'm like,
Gogeta is so good.
Yeah.
It's good fun. It's good banter. I love those guys.
Course, of course, yeah. That's just like, it's kind of like a childish debate, like which character is better.
It keeps us youthful. I mean, I think healthy banter is always good, and there's never any foul blood. Like, it's always so fun with those guys. Oh man.
For sure, man. For sure. I mean, I think we're blessed in the DBS community. We're blessed because, I mean, there's a ton of drama going on 24/7 in Pokemon, because I think the community is just so big. Yeah, I lost you suddenly. Yeah.
You're okay. I don't even know how we got on Gary. Maybe we should just cut all that.
Yeah, we're gonna cut all that stuff because it's just I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that was just me and you talking.
yeah, we're gonna cut that, man. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Bottom line, DBS community rocks, man.
Dude, they're awesome. Like you guys, I love it as well. It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long we're gonna make this podcast. Let me just jump on the next question.
Yeah.
Is there something that you're looking forward to in DBS this year?
Yeah, so obviously we're all aware at this point that the Collector's Selection Volume 1 just dropped.
Yeah.
That's going around. It brought back that nostalgic factor of having texture on the cards. We see that amazing card stock. A big reason why I got not out of Dragon Ball Super, but I stopped with new Dragon Ball Super is because I love the texture. I mean, that was the selling point for me automatically, was like, or I guess what I would say would be my interest point was just the quality of the card, right?
Yeah.
And Noah Collector spoke on that a lot last episode, where just the cost of making those cards is so expensive. So
yeah,
it's probably not going to happen often. So honestly, I'm really crossing my fingers for a Collection Selection Volume 2 before the year ends.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that will happen? Probably not. So yeah, I mean, I'm really just curious to see where they're going to go. I know that the game is growing. It's getting much bigger every day. So I'm really hoping that Bandai will take into consideration to maybe start bringing back at least secret rares. Give the secret rares full texture like they deserve. I mean, the glory of those cards is just absolutely insane. And I think a big reason why Dragon Ball Super is trending so hard right now, and I mean right now as in like this week, is because of the collector selection.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are all seeing firsthand now why we all got into this from the get-go. I mean, what was the first card you ever got, Dragon Ball Super?
Awakened Power.
So was mine. And that thing just looks insane. Like the feel, the weight, man, I think I looked at that thing in a light box for like a week straight.
Yeah, me too. And of course, I mean, with a Pokemon background, I was collecting WotC. I mean, it's just not comparable, man. It's just
not.
It's just so not comparable. And even if you look at the modern Pokemon, I mean, there's texture, but it's not even comparable, man. It's not comparable.
It's next level.
I really hope that they keep on pumping these collector selection volumes. As long as they do one a year, man.
I'd be totally fine with that,
man. One a year, do that, and I'm happy. I opened my my binder yesterday, I want to say, or no, 2 days ago. Man, it felt like Christmas.
Didn't it?
Man, it's insane. Like
best feeling
how
I've
is
had
this
in
90
2
bucks?
years.
How is this $90? I don't understand it. 18 SCRs, man. Ooh. 18 SCRs. That's what it is to me.
Just hearing you say that, it's man,
so good, man.
It's so good.
Yeah, there are 4 cards out of the binder that I'm not too fond about.
Oh, which ones are those?
The Ozaru, so the Great Ape.
Yeah.
There's the Janimba that I'm not too.
The leader card, right?
Yeah. And then one of the Brolys that I don't really like. So,
yeah.
One with the Broly on the background. I mean, I'm not too much of a fan, and I forgot the 4th. I'm not too sure, but all the rest is just stunning, man.
On the plus side, you got 14 cards that are fantastic. Have you seen what's happening with them too? I mean, like they're the individual cards are going up there. I think that Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is like, I mean, too soon to tell, but there's a couple auctions going on right now. It's already at $100.
Yeah. Now, I think that's just about, fear of missing out. I think that just people, I didn't pre-order that stuff. It looks amazing. I need the card, and they just pay out now. But I think prices are gonna go down hard.
Yeah,
that's just
maybe.
my opinion.
Didn't they only made what was pre-ordered, right?
Yeah, but Yeah, I think there's more that got pre-ordered than we think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so because I mean, local gaming stores pre-order their stuff. I mean, I have a gaming store here in the Netherlands. He probably I don't know how much he got, but he got enough. It's gonna be a lot. I think it's not um, as scarce as we think it is.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a good idea probably within the next 6 months, and
Yeah.
I'm excited. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are very keen on holding. Like, there's really not a whole lot online yet, so I don't know. We'll see.
Not yet. But I think, I mean, man, even quantity aside, man, the quality is just so good, so good. I'm a little bit disappointed about the UI Goku IAR. I think the design isn't the best, but hey, I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
Yeah, I definitely think that there were a handful of cards they could have went with. Other than that, I would like to see Bandai reach out a little bit more. Maybe create like a forum that we can all kind of just share around and pass to friends, because I think that they made a lot of those decisions based off of player base, and I could be wrong.
They did polls on their Facebook page, and they do this. I want to say like twice a year or something. They did that again recently, and they basically have an entire list of cards, and then you have to give your top 5 or something.
Yeah, we need to push that like through the community like hard next time they do that, because
maybe we should push that more next time.
Could you imagine if they would have redid a Awakened?
Yeah, and that's actually still. I mean, some people are still speculating if they are gonna reprint an Awakened Power in that archive booster that they are gonna release in October or November. There's an archive booster, like basically like the classics of Dragon Ball are gonna be reprinted. But I mean,
oh man, that's gonna be huge for anything prior.
I think it's gonna be based on playability and not collectability. I think it's going to be based like which secret rare is still up to date in the meta, and not which card do collectors want to have. I mean, yeah.
Anybody that's got any older stuff is going to be super stoked on that. I'm ready to get back into some Dragon Ball posts, man. I've got probably, I think I've got like 300 Dragon Ball Z SPRs at PSA right now, and I'm just sitting here waiting.
Yeah, I know you have for months you've been buying SPRs and stuff, right?
I have so many just promos, pre-releases, SPRs. I think I have a couple SCRs still, because I kept buying. Like I didn't want to just kind of walk away from it, because I did sell my Dragon Ball Super graded collection to fund the house. But you kept on going. And yeah, man, just trying to bounce back. Like I'm like, like I don't really feel like I completed the goal that I wanted to do, which was have every booster box and every secret in a BGS 10, and I almost got there. I was missing 2.
SSB and Awakened.
That damn Vegito and that damn what is it? SS4 Hyper Evo Goku.
Oh yeah.
That was my challenging one. I think I graded 7 or 8 of those cards, and they all came back 9.5.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel you. These cards are some of the hardest cards to grade.
They are
set
hard.
Set 1 to 3 was printing quality wasn't there yet. Starting from set 4 and 5, it just stellar. But set 1 to 3 is still very good compared to other TCGs. But for DBS, if you want that BGS 10, that's roll a line on the back might give you a Surface 9.
You're not lying. I think that those SPRs from Galactic Battle, those things have a lot of room to grow. I mean, people really don't understand.
Man, these things, I mean, they're just
one per case, and they're so hard to grade.
Yeah, man, so hard to grade.
Oh, that's the fun part. Those are the fun sets, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I traded a Tournament of Power box for the set in PSA 10,
Phew.
And I look back at that deal and I'm like, man, I would do that deal every day of the week.
I completely agree with you.
I would trade that again and again and again. I mean, that just one of the best deals I've made so far.
That Broly, that Frieza and that Broly. I'm not a big fan of the Goku. I think it's one of the poorer artworks in my opinion.
Yeah, me too. It's not.
But the Frieza and the Broly.
Man, the Frieza. Oof.
And then just the fact that they made the third one a Goku card. Like, it's just a great set.
Man, I can't wait for them to make another signature set like Piccolo, Gogeta, Gotenks.
Man. Could you imagine a Gogeta? Or a Janemba, or a Goku Black.
Shit, man! Goku Black and Zamasu, man. Okay,
a Broly, a Broly signature would be just
a Broly signature.
Boo and a Broly would just be broken. Man. I would cry.
Man, I think we're gonna go so broke once they release that set.
I'm telling you, I'm excited for it, and I think that a lot of people, are going to be blown away. Like I said, this game is still so early.
Yeah, so early.
I mean, we're 4 years in, maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room to grow. I'm curious to see what's going to happen long term.
I'll cut that out, man. I'll cut that out. No worries. No. Yeah, but I think, I mean, I've had a blast here so far, and I think we could be. I mean, we would talk all day, probably easily.
Probably.
I think in terms of for the podcast, I think we're already at 1 hour or something. So I think I'm gonna go for one more question here. What's your advice for new collectors? So people that have been collecting for like 6 months or so, getting to GBS or Pokemon. What's your advice?
My advice for new collectors would be challenge yourself. And what I mean by that is start with a fixed amount. If somebody comes into this hobby, make it a flat rate. Save up $1,000 and start with $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
From there, just work on rotating your inventory to where you don't have to pay out of pocket again. It's very difficult, but it's possible. Card prices are always fluctuating, and there is in a way, there's almost a cyclical year to this. We see buying seasons, we see selling seasons.
Sure.
So start with a flat rate. Don't put yourself in a pickle, because that's when people make mistakes, and that's when collections or collectors either disappear or get discouraged. Start with that $1,000 or that $100 or that $500. Find a local collection and then make some money. If you can't find a local collection, buy a couple of booster boxes, open one, let the other one sit for 3 to 5 months, and then sell a couple of them, and there you go. Boom, you've got some money to play with, and your cycle begins.
I think that's great advice, man.
Take it day by day. Know your limits. Make a healthy purchase and not an unhealthy purchase. A healthy purchase would be using half of your money instead of dumping all of it into one card. This is a quantity game, unfortunately, not a quality game. So but to those people that do want that one card that are absolutely fantastic, buy it for the right reasons.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to absorb. I think I need to follow your advice as well.
It's a challenge, and that's why I say back at the basics. Challenge yourself.
Because it's so easy to just dump money on stuff and then regret it afterwards.
Yeah, but there's no rush.
There's
no rush, Tom.
And more mindful and thinking about your purchases beforehand. I think that's important.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, take your time. There's no rush. They're always dropping something new. They're always dropping something valuable.
Always. Dude, Bandai, please calm down. I can't anymore. I mean, I can't.
I'm that's me with Pokemon right now.
Another set. Yeah, and the Pokemon alternate arts are like, oh man. So there's always something new. It never ends. It never stops. It's just keeps on going, and it's up to you to again, like, know your limits and know what to buy and what not to buy.
Yep.
What to sell when it's needed. Yeah.
We didn't get these collections overnight. It takes time. Just get in it, have fun, and
definitely.
Yeah, challenge yourself. I love it. Tom, this has been so fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. I'm really looking forward to PokeDebt to see the brand expand in general, and I think people should go follow you on Instagram at PokeDebt and browse through your inventory on PokeDebt.com. I think there's still some DBS, right?
Yeah, so we have a couple DBS cards on there. We're gonna have a lot more whenever we get some more grades back. But
looking forward to that, man.
We're super hyped on that. Thank you so much. Amazing. We hope to see you again soon.
Thanks for the chat, man. It was awesome.
Anytime.
I'll have to have you back on the show again real soon.
Yeah, I would really look forward to it. Maybe we can get Viv on here too.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Well, until next time. We'll see you.
Talk to you soon, man. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Passion Over Profits podcast. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more DBS Collectors content. Interested in which guest we're having next week? Find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball's Passion Over Profits. Yes, Passion Over Profits.